but you don't trust the mechanics to it.
No, I would. It also has the ability to monitor shipping. And radio and satellite communications allow the crew to talk directly with the Irish Coast Guard and indeed people in distress on the maritime VHF frequency. A variety of Beechcraft aircraft, including 1,500 hours on type. His first officer this afternoon is Kieran Keane. Again, 1,500 hours of flying time with 500 hours on type. And the second officer is Gerard Mooney, a senior sensor operator with display experience from the Irish Air Corps on their C-235 and C-292.
Time it takes their mind to go from shock and startle to being able to think and be able to refer to memory.
This is where practice makes perfect. The Strike Master has arrived. Fantastic. Now, this is, of course, one of those aircraft that is really special to us here in Bray. We're going to see a fair amount of activity going on here now.
And that was a nice barrel roll to enter with there.
You mentioned that, of course, this aircraft would have seen service, but in the Middle East particularly.
That's right. And I believe, in fact, that the wings of this airplane, in fact, may have actually been damaged in a bit of a kerfuffle in about 50 years ago. Murbat. So Bertie, who's flying this plane, is pulling a bit of G there now as he comes around line up for his next pass, which I guess is going to be, what are we looking at next? A Cuban 8, I think he's going to do. Half Cuban 8 out on the 45, so he's going to pull up. Roll. And there he goes out on the 45. It's pulling about 4 or 5 G, I would say, there now.
When you talk about G-force, of course, you're describing that he actually feels an awful lot heavier than you normally would. So 4 times your body weight.
So prepare to be wowed.
I think we'll leave him to it. Let's just watch this.
A lot of speed.
Oh my God.
So flying along a knife edge.
Richard's day job is an airline pilot, but you're sure he doesn't do this in his airline.
Falling back down through his own smoke.
Yeah. Gyroscopic forces are enormous on the propeller and the little jet engines when he does that. As you hear the jet engines wind up.
I'd like to be in that plane.
There's the sound of those jets.
wants to go and play with that jet up there. It's a bit far away.
Yes, at 15 minutes.
Maybe like a helicopter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Dave Barrell, Kirsty on the wing, Brian, Emma on the other wing, and Aerobatic's Wingwalking team. Now as they go through that loop, especially there at the bottom, that compression is adding up to about 4G, 4 times their body weight. So let me introduce you to the team. The blue aircraft closest to us, that's being flown by our team leader, Dave Barrell. Dave is a vastly experienced display pilot. He has worked very hard to get the fitness, but now you'll see they've actually turned themselves the right way up, because the harness that they're buckled into actually rotates like a clock face. So they can go sideways, they can go upside down, and they can stand just like normal. Now bear in mind, the aircraft are going anywhere between 90 to 130 kilometers per hour in the dive. So if you're out on the M11 later and you want to get a taste of what it's like to be a wing walker, open all the windows in the car and stick your head out, and that'll give you a rough idea of what they're going through. But it's their whole body that has been pushed through that. This is why the girls are super fit. Spend a lot of time in the gym. If you want to watch now as the aircraft come back in. They're going to climb. Now the aircraft that we have, as I said, are Boeing Stearmans, but they're highly adaptive ones, because we've operated the engines. A standard Boeing aircraft like this would be about 220, and get ready for the B brake. But these ones are 460 horsepower. Also the control surfaces, so we have a thing called the ailerons that are on the wings, and that's the one that gives you the actual control of the aircraft. They're on a normal Stearman, they'll be just on the bottom surface. But on these aircraft, they're top and bottom. Dave's leading the team down, building speed up, and into an aileron roll. Not for all the tea in China would I do that. So it's good that the wind died down a little bit. If it's too windy, sometimes we have to throw that roll away. I'm glad to see that Dave and the guys did it. So now they're going to stay together. And as I said, if you do have binoculars, the girls are going to come back in. Now this time they're in the Superman pose, punching the air in front of them. Kirsten leading Emma in the red aircraft. And waving furiously. So as I said, they're strapped in with a body.
Regional airports here in Ireland and indeed across the UK.